So I'm just going down this track, and I've realised I've come across here before. There's a small dip, and just over there, and I came back here, I think it was probably December time, and everywhere was covered in snow, and I couldn't locate this area again. But last year when I was here, what drew me to this area was that I saw on a stump somewhere in this direction a fox skull, and the fox skull might have been put there by a person. It's quite a rare find actually, to just stumble on a skull on a stump, but as I approached the stump, and I'm hoping it's still there, I heard one of the most clearest wood knocks that I'd ever heard, and it was close. So we're going to try and get over there now, and we're going to approach this skull, if it's still there. I'm hoping it is. And I'm not going to guarantee we're going to hear a wood knock. The chances are very slim. But let's just go and have a walk over. And I'm going to be quiet now, just to listen. The skull is still there. Been there some time. As you can see, it's got moss all growing into it. And the reason I know it's a fox skull is because on a badger skull you've got more of a ridge here, a dermal ridge, and it's got the sharp teeth there just underneath. But I haven't heard a wood knock. The wood knock actually came from over this direction. So I am going to head that way, just to listen. sure if my camera had captured that. It was like doo doo doo. Let's have a look. These branches are in situ, they're all loose. It's where woodpeckers have been. I can't believe I heard them 3 knocks. You see me take a little fall there. I slipped down that bit of a gully, and just as I got up, doof, 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 and I'm very rare to hear 3 in a row. Normally it's just 1. Sometimes I'll hear 1 off into the distance. Rarely. But that was doof, doof, doof. Just as I stand up from that small fall, you can hear that just about make it out on the video. Hoping something does it again, but I'm very doubtful. archway in there. Just trying to see if I can get to him. There's no way this has been done by snow. Not with all of this above. It's got a break in the middle too. Broke in the middle, like it's been snapped over. It's very low. Just want to see if this is in situ here, which it's not at all. Let me just move that away. You know, that's loose, that's been put there, that hasn't fallen off anywhere above. Almost like a small archway. You know, I'm on my knees here. Yeah, that's a nice little find. Of our tracks that go under. This here. Very small, flat-footed track coming this way. If you see that, that's a very small little track. That's very interesting. You see the back of the heel here, and the toes would be here, coming across here. You know, it's a good little impression. It's flat-footed, leading to this archway from that direction. And that's the way I'm going to go. So that little archway is just there, and I'm now behind it. I was just in front of the archway there. Something's been walking backwards and forwards here, and I can't quite believe what I'm going to show you right now. Got some bird crap, that is. But I said them prints were heading that way. That footprint over there, that flat-footed footprint was that way. And just here is what looks like toes. There's the big toe, small's toes. Flat-footed, there's the heel. That's bloody interesting, that is. That's come from that direction. And I've not seen one, you know, that's the size of my hand, that is. That's tiny. Everything's been pressed down. You can clearly see them toes in that. That's pretty unbelievable. So you can still make out that archway. It's just there, and I'm really thinking, well, this track from that archway comes behind this tree. It comes behind this tree. and in between this stump, which is an actual fall, and this tree, and I'm really starting to think, even though these prints are so small, we have another print here which is quite a bit larger. I'm thinking this is young wildmen, young sasquatch, practicing possibly what the elders do in a smaller version. I know we're getting woven structures. But very small. These, you know, half my height. These are very small. And I'm looking around for more prints right now. I think there's something over there. You know, these are my height. These are no bigger. This here is strange. They just come perfectly over that. There's definitely more prints in this area that I'm going to keep an eye out for. I wanted to just head over here just to have a look at this. Here to our left, we've got a very fresh break. That's very fresh. Again, you know, my height is about this height to the tree. These are very low, half my height. This branch here is woven over, under, over. These are very strange finds, and there's so many of them in just this small area. And it's a very thick area too. You know, this patch here is quite open, but all surrounding me is the thick of the forest. There are patches of grass. This is a very interesting spot right now. I'm just looking down there. And that's another print. Toes. You can see them there. This is a bit of a bigger print that comes back here. This looks to me like two different young ones. One's a slightly bit bigger than the other. I want to go back now and just measure these size prints. It's very interesting to me, these. I just want to start off by measuring this print here, again, above it, interwoven branches. I just want to start off by measuring this first, well, the last print on the last video. We've got the toes. The toes are here. The heel is here. You know, we're looking about 8.5 inches. The ball, we're looking at about 4 inches. The heel, only 3, maybe 3.5 inches wide. It's very small. It has toes. I'm going to go now back just to have a little look at them. That really small print. Well, there was two. There was one. I thought I just heard another knock, but I didn't. So there was this print here just before this stump. This is a little bit bigger. We've got what looks like her toes there. The heel comes here. Again, that looks about 8, maybe 9 inches. I'm trying to keep quiet because I want to see if anything approaches me. This is 5 inches wide. Possibly 4. Probably more like 4. It's just starting to rain. 3-inch heel. Now I have to go this way because it's just too narrow for me to get through. But I want to get to that one, like that would seem very small. And that's just through here. Here it is. So here's the toes. Oh, I didn't mean to move that there. You can just make out the toes. The heel comes back here. There's a branch in the way, but I don't want to move too much. I'm looking at about 7 inches for that, 6.5 maybe. It's a very small print. Looking about 3.5 inches ball. Struggling to get my tape in at the heel, but we're looking at about 3 inches there for the heel. That's actually hail that's coming down on me right now. There's this print here, and I'm on my hands and knees here trying to get through. But there's another small print there. Toes. This is the back of the heel. Looking about 5, maybe 5.5 inches. The ball, again, maybe 3 inches. And the heel, again, it's very small, 2.5 tops. Very interesting little area. I've just noticed, you know, where this track comes through from, that archway. Again, the archway's there, and I said these tracks come through here. There's a good print there too. This being the heel. Toes. Might as well measure that as we're here. Looking about 9 inches again. And I know my boot is 12 inches. Maybe 4.5 at the ball. You know, 4, maybe 4.5 at the heel. Probably more like 4. I haven't cast any of these because it's just so, you know, you're just not going to get really anything out of it from this beech leaf. I don't know if anybody else is casting stuff on leaf matter. Let me know and I'll give it a go. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping more for something that's in mud, like the ones I found last month, which I should have cast, and I can't believe I didn't really. Just having a scan around. This hail is really coming down now. You can see it all on my jacket. So this is the area where I've just been finding all these small little prints, and the archway is just through there somewhere, not too far away. Broken branches there, where I found a lot, well, not a large print, but a bit bigger print. And I was just gonna head where these tracks seem to be going through here. But a member on the group, he mentioned leaning branches, and I find them a lot. This branch here, and I'll just show that it's not connected to anything. I can pull that out. Well, I actually accidentally just knocked it off. Hold on. That was just leaning perfectly on here. There's nothing holding that anywhere. That's just managed to lean perfectly, boom, in situ. Strange. I can't believe I've come across this little area here. That skull, that fox skull, fox skull isn't far away. I've heard the wood knocks again. I heard them last time I was here. This is a great area. Again, I've just found another print. This is where boar have been churning up the ground with their tusks right next to it, and this is where I always look for prints, humanoid prints. You can see that right there, toes, heel, very small print again. I'll find my tape measure. Very small print, very deep impression. Toes to heel 6, no more than 7 inches. The ball again 3.5 inches, maybe 3. The heel, I can't really get down there because there's a bit of a matter of the hill here. The heel is no more than 3 inches, maybe 2.5. That's actually a lovely print. You can just see the toes here coming in. And it's deep impression. I'm going to move these leaves just see if there's any more of the toe areas. You can see. The thing is, when I put plaster in there, it's just going to push up all these leaves. It's just going to look more of a blob, you know, and that's why I don't really mess about with casting these prints like this. It's a shame. So I'm just going to head through. There's a grassy area here. Gonna have a little walk around there. Otherwise I might come back here, because like I say, I usually have a coffee, bit of a sit down with my flask, just listen to my surroundings. And I think this is a great place just to listen for a while. First I'm going to have a walk around just outside and around these other trees here. So I've just stopped in my tracks. Just come from out of there. This looks like a much larger print. Heel. Going this way. You'd have the toes here. That there is more of an impression there. It looks more like a big toe. If I come back a bit, you can just make it out there. Going that way. measure that one. Although that is barely visible in this leaf matter, but you can see from the surrounding leaf that that is pressed down. So I'm going to say this is the hill here, going up, there being the big toe. Looking about 9.5 inches. Ball width 5. Heel. I'm having to guess this a little bit because of that leaf there. About 4.5 inches. I'm just coming out now into that grassy area I mentioned before. But I don't want to be in here really, I want to get back into the forest. So I'm going to head off into this area here. Whatever's been coming across has been coming through here anyway. That's one of the first times I found little small footprints. And I've got to say I'm absolutely stoked about that. Everybody thinks, oh, you know, Bigfoot, it's got to be these huge footprints, but they've got to have young ones too, you know. So they're not all going to be 14, 16, 18 inches long. And it would make sense that they made smaller versions of structures like the adults are making as practice. Some boloscat there. They're pretty big. There's a boloscat that's been rolled in. Something's been rolled in that. But the trail carries on that way. There is boar walking here in every direction. But there's also something else making these prints. They're not boar. Still in the same area. Back here I just see if I can see it again. It's what look like toes, and I'm only going back now because I found something in front. That looks like a big toe, with the smaller toes coming across. Now I don't like the fact that the leaves have been moved. Footprints don't tend to move leaves away. And I've only really got an impression of the big toe. The heel would come back here. So if that's right, that'd be about 10 inches. And the toes are coming across here. You just make them out 6 inches. 4-inch ball. That's not why I stopped. Because whatever's done this next thing I'm going to show you must have had some fairly good power. Everything is split, twisted. Something's been walking through here. It's relatively large. Let's push these branches to the side. I don't like the size of that ball. 6 inches, that's not too bad actually in the size relative to the other one. 4.5 inches heel. You know, the impression it's been there longer. It is very flat. That's the size of my hand from the heel. Yeah, it's a pretty big print, that is. This is woodpecker markings. It's funny how that's just split away from that though. That's a fair piece of trunk that's split off there. Here's a fresh break. Kind of makes an arch. Something's been coming through here. You know, it's just push that to the side. Strange about that is though, it comes down behind this, like it's been tucked back. And I've just done a bit of a circle. I've come back to this tree again that I remember. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go sit down now and plug my flask, have a pipe, just have a listen. I don't know whether to go further down or go back to where I found them small footprints. Well, I'm kind of in the area anyway. I don't want to disturb that area too much. You know, if that is somewhere where young squatch are left, you know, almost like a protective nursery, and then I don't want to really disturb that too much from them going back there. That's actually just through those trees. Some of these tracks are very old loggers roads. It's not been nobody down driving or coming down here with machinery for years. It's actually not a bad spot to sit on this stump. I think that's what I'll do. Just keep an eye out, have a listen. Okay, something is moving in front of me, which is actually giving me the bloody willies a little bit. I'm gonna pursue it. Being on my own, it's always a bit bloody intense. I want to see what it was. Sound like something just moved off, you know. It's a strange find. It's just a bit of split tree. It's definitely left that there. That's, you can tell it. That's a fresh break. I'm gonna keep going. Something a bit like a hide. You know, it's small, but it's small enough for a youngling. I was about to sit down and have that coffee break, and then I heard that. It sounded like something move off, so. I'm gonna find somewhere else now. So thick is the problem, and we make so much noise trying to walk through these areas. These things here is for a mile away. I've got to say, I've got that nervous feeling where I feel like I'm being watched, you know. The wind is picking up. But I'm sure I can hear something walking around. Very quietly. And it's coming from two sides. My hair is standing up on end, honestly. If you can see this. You know, I've got that feeling that I'm not on my own, which is rare, quite thrilling. This is a strange find too. I've just been stuck inside there. That one's just been left across. Get me in there a little bit. Okay. Okay, I see. Another archway. Let's get there. Don't know if you're seeing this. It's not the cross. I think that's just a fall. It's this. Oh, this is something, this is. Oh, man. We've got a bit of something here that could have just fallen off. That has been broken, twisted. And it's been pulled around there. I mean, what the hell has done that? This here, it's been snapped off. You know, this is some serious. This is an ash tree. This is an ash tree that's been done. And this big piece here has been broken off there. Broken there. And the first part of this cross, again, is not in the ground. This has not been cut. This has been broken. That's been broken. Again, that also forms a sort of cross. Now, but I do believe the one behind is naturally fallen, or it's just but it's not been moved out. I'm going to go and check out the roots, and then I'm going to show you something else that's direct in the vicinity. Okay, so we can see there that big one behind. Oh, it does move, I just haven't got the strength to move it. Not with one hand. Okay, I think that is the natural fall, that side. Just coming from that there. And we look up. We've got another arch. And another break just there. Another break just there, you see, that's been snapped down. There's that ash that's been curved around. There's them broken ones. And then I've just turned around. Found this really old bone. Now, that bone has been split to get that marrow. There is no teeth marks, and it's been there some time. There is no teeth marks. There's moss growing on it a little bit. There's no teeth marks on that. You can tell that's been snapped. This could be a bit of a kill zone when I'm in here. I'm telling you, I've got the absolute willies. I can't believe I've just found that. You know, you've got that arch, the cross. There then breaks. You've got this break. This arch. This is probably one of the best finds I've had in a while. And then that bone. And again, that bone has been broken. That has not been chewed. That is a sharp break, as you can see there. And there's no other bits of bone about. And I've got that feeling of being watched. I feel like I'm gonna have my coffee here instead. Just want to try and get as much documentation of this area as I can before sitting down. There's that bone. I mean, that has got a bit of a rock there as well next to it. That's been broken and split. There's that broken branch there that comes down. And when I've ever had the power to break this, it's serious power. I mean, that there is wet wood. That is, you know, that's not no rot. That's not rotten. And the angles of that, it's like a huge fall. I showed you that one there is not in situ, and then leading from that, we've got this twisted branch. And whatever's took that behind there, you have some power in itself just to do that. That's all twisted there. What a find. What a find. That's one of the best structures I've found, and I can't believe there's that bone next to it. And here is a huge, huge print. I'm going to just stop the camera. I mean, you can see that impression. You know, normal ground is like this. It's just... this would be the toes here. See how flat that is? The heel. And I know some things like this can throw the eye off to make it look like that's a print, but that stops just before that. And we're looking at 13 inches there, 13.5 inches. Six-inch here, ball, sorry. And a 4.5 inch heel. And it leads straight to that vent branch there, look. Man, I'm absolutely thrilled with that find. Absolutely. I don't want to leave this area. Just trying to find somewhere I can sit down. Probably going to try and sit on that stump there, where I'm a little bit away from that structure. I'm a little bit hidden here. Man, I can't believe I found that. I really can't. Okay. So I want to just take me half an hour now, 20 minutes. Let everything go quiet. Just keep an eye out and listen. Got me back to some trees here. Don't want anything coming up behind me. That bone back there, that looked like a deer bone. Like a leg bone from a deer. I mean, you've got to have some power to snap one of them in half. I doubt I could do it across my knee or anything. That was a clear break, that was. Snapped straight in half. Okay, I'll be back to you soon.